This copyrighted telecast of the Western Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the WAC Digital Network.
It's the first week of February, and we're in Orem, Utah, as we get ready for the WAC Game of the Week. New Mexico State and Utah Valley, next on the WAC Digital Network.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
Welcome to Orem, Utah. Today's matchup, the New Mexico State Aggies taking on the Utah Valley Wolverines. Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching the WAC Game of the Week on the WAC Digital Network. Michael Clanton along with Matt Peterson. And we think we've got a tremendous matchup, two of the hottest teams right now in the conference.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Wolverines coming into this game winners of 4 of their last 5. They're playing terrific basketball right now. And you have New Mexico State, who has won 10 games in a row. So it is a matchup of hot teams playing their best basketball, and it's going to be fun to watch.
How about the Aggies? Still perfect in conference play, coming off an ice win against GCU the other night on Thursday, and they are looking to repeat as conference champs, and they're loaded.
Yeah, they've got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of balance from top to bottom on the roster, and they are playing terrific basketball, as we just mentioned. I think it'll be really important for them to stay focused on the road to compete against how the Wolverines are playing right now.
Yeah, they've got a couple dynamic players for sure. Brianna Freeman was the WAC Player of the Year last year. And how about Sasha Weber, a potential candidate for Player of the Year again this year in the WAC?
No doubt about it. She is playing fantastic basketball right now. She's averaging about 13.5 points per game. She's going to be someone that we'll have to watch and someone that the Wolverines will have to stop. You mentioned Brianna Freeman coming off a fantastic year last year. She's right up there, averages about 11 points per game. These two players make New Mexico State go, and as those two go, so does their team. So the Wolverines are going to have to do a good job of stopping those two.
How about for Utah Valley, 4-4 in conference play. Had a nice win on Thursday afternoon against the Vaqueros. Close game, and they blew it out, and a lot of it was because of Seals and Loggins.
Yeah, Mariah Seals, leading scorer for the Wolverines at 11.5 points per game. She plays at the guard perimeter position, so she's going to see a lot of action tonight as New Mexico State is going to try and stop her. You've got Sam Loggins inside, plays the center position, averages just under 11 points per game. So we're going to see an outside presence from UVU from Seals, and then we've got to have, Wolverines have to have some inside presence from Sam Loggins as well.
Matt, how about our WAC Game of the Week keys of the game for this one?
Yeah, I think you look at for New Mexico State, they're going to put a ton of pressure on the Wolverines. They're going to try and get steals. They're going to try and force turnovers. Keys to them is that they've got to force the Wolverines into bad shots, because that will lead to their offense and what they're trying to accomplish. And then they've got to defend Mariah Seals, as we were just talking about. As Mariah goes, the Wolverines go, and if they can slow her down, they have a good chance of slowing down the entire Wolverine team.
And how about for Utah Valley? What are their keys? What do they have to do to get a win? This would definitely be an upset if they can beat the team that's unbeaten right now in conference play.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Wolverines have got to handle that pressure that we just talked about. out. It's going to be constant. It's going to be all game long. So the Wolverines have to take care of the basketball, and then they've got to defend the three. New Mexico State on the year has taken 525 threes. They're not the best shooting team, just under 32%, but that's a big part of what New Mexico State tries to do, and the Wolverines, that is, has to get out and defend that three-point ball this afternoon.
Yeah, I think you're dead on the keys to the game. We'll have to see if that transpires, but how about ready for tip-off?
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a great game.
Should be a really good game. You're watching the WAC Digital Network. We'll have opening tip from Orem, Utah right after this. And welcome back to the PE building here at Utah Valley University. The tip-off moments away, this WAC Digital Network Game of the Week. We're excited to bring it to you. Have a look at the starters, and we should say Brooke Salas, a lot of people will remember her wearing number 2. Well, they don't have a red number 2, so she's wearing number 5 today.
Maybe they're trying to throw off the Wolverines a little bit. You never know, right?
This is a fantastic starting group. Freeman, again, was WAC Player of the Year last year. I think Weber is probably the lead candidate this year. Now, there's many other players to choose from, but, boy, she is a strong candidate. I did get into foul trouble on Thursday against GCU. And how about for the Wolverines? Seals.
Yeah, we looked at Seals being a key player, Loggins being a key player, but every one of those players has to contribute this afternoon.
Bench is also very capable for New Mexico State and Utah Valley. You know, that more when we see them. But it will be New Mexico State basketball to start things off here from Orem. Again, they're undefeated in conference play. 10-game winning streak. Here is Freeman, misses offensive rebound. Here's William inside. She missed it. And a rebound by Utah Valley. That's Rebecca Mowini.
Yeah, New Mexico State there ran a very simple flex offense and got a wide open shot up top from Seals. Wolverines caught a break, not giving up an easy second chance point.
Loggins going right at Freeman. Turns the ball over. Here comes the Aggies. This is Salas, the freshman, and a lot of these returners for New Mexico State, they played a ton the last couple of years. This three ball is good by Sasha Weber, and she is dynamite from the outside. She's one of the top New Mexico State players, I think, in their history.
Yeah, she leads the team in field goals, three-point field goals made, three-point field goals attempted, so she is definitely going to be a threat from outside, as we mentioned. Great job there from the Wolverines handling the pressure. I would guess that New Mexico State, when they score, they're going to try and put pressure on full court like they did. It was kind of a zone pressure, maybe looking to trap when they had the opportunity, and then they fell back into a zone defense. So important for the Wolverines to recognize that early. As we see here, New Mexico State is playing a 3-2 zone.
Yeah, they love to get out and pressure, turn people over. Number 1 in the WAC in that category. Seals trying to run down her own miss, unable to save it, so it'll be New Mexico State basketball.
Mexico State, you know, that one thing that pressuring in the full court does, and if the Wolverines take a lot of time to bring the ball up, it runs time off of the shot clock, exactly what the Wolverines found themselves in there, a short shot clock, having to take probably a forced shot as the clock ran down.
Weber again, hits it from the outside, and she got into early foul trouble on Thursday against GCU and really was not that much of a factor, but you can see how good she is already in the first couple possessions here.
Yeah, absolutely. Wolverines need to get out to her beyond the three-point line because she's shown terrific range, and she shoots just over 40% on the season from three, so she's a great shooter from deep.
Almost 250 made threes in her brilliant career. Loggins inside. A chance now at a three-point play for Sam Loggins, the senior from Boise, Idaho.
If New Mexico State will play that 3-2 zone, they can be patient, work the ball around the perimeter. It's going to give a ton of room inside for Loggins with her size to operate in the paint. And she's a big target. She got in there, hands wide. Ball was perfectly delivered on time, and a great finish with the foul.
Coming off a 14.5 rebound, 3-block shot game against the Vaqueros on Thursday afternoon. Very vital to Utah Valley's success. Freeman goes right at Loggins and turns it over. Mawini right there steps up. And now here comes Seals.
That was the best defensive possession early in the game here. The Wolverines were really active around the perimeter, great communication, and they forced the turnover.
So far, New Mexico State, they have struck from the outside. Not much interior game. They tried to go inside and turn the ball over. Loggins, shot clock inside, 8 seconds. Loggins able to score. She has all 5 for the Wolverines.
And she has size. Look at the lineup that New Mexico State has in there. There's nobody that's as big as her, and the Wolverines, rightfully so, pounding that ball inside. She's got an advantage, and great defense here from UVU, turning it over.
New Mexico State, of course, one of the top teams in the conference in turning their opponent over, +5, and that turnover margin. They forced 20 turnovers.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Taste of their own medicine here to start this game as we approaching 6.5 to play in this opening quarter.
And that's important, an important part of the game, even though we didn't really mention it for UVU. But if New Mexico State's going to be active, they've got to be active to get their own chances and points.
Corner shot, that is off the mark. Volleyballed around, Freeman comes up with it. Here's Weber. The freshman looking to go inside. Freeman with a turnaround jumper, and it's good. Well, there is some inside play by New Mexico State. Brianna Freeman, the junior from Killeen, Texas.
And that was a very nice fall-away, fadeaway jump shot. Loggins wasn't able to get her hand up or get pressure because Freeman was falling away. That was a terrific basket, very athletic shot.
And Utah Valley with a turnover here. 5:55 left here in this opening quarter, and Mariah Mack comes into the ball game, and she is a dynamite player. Most teams she would probably be starting. She's coming off the bench, and she had a really good game down in Las Cruces the last time these two programs met. The freshman in and out for 3 was Salas, but an offensive rebound. Davis inside, she lost it. Tostin comes up with it.
Another thing that really helps the Wolverines is if they can get missed shots and get the rebounds and get in transition, it doesn't allow New Mexico State to set up their pressure that they like full court.
A good point. Here's an open look at a 3 by Mawini, and she can hit that shot. Very good three-point shooter for Utah Valley. Matter of fact, I think it was January 25th was named the Conference Player of the Week.
I think a theme that we're going to see is we talk about the key players, but who else is going to step up? And, a lot of players on both teams. You mentioned Mariah Mack, Brooke Salas. For New Mexico State, maybe those players. The Wolverines are going to have some help as well.
Freeman inside now. And that's something that Mexico State, they get that outside jumper and the interior game going. They are going to be tough to stop here this afternoon. Top 2 scoring teams in the conference. 10-5 our score early here in the first quarter.
So there's that 3-2 zone that New Mexico State will fall back into at times.
Seals misses on the 3. Offensive rebound by Deja Blentz.
That's a great rebound from Deja because it gives another chance, another opportunity, and that's how you can really kill the zone is if you get a shot and you can come up with another shot that hurts the zone D.
Oh, nice pass inside, and the bucket is good by Carly Norris, the junior from Hiram, Utah.
And that's a nice sign from the Wolverines because you get Loggins going out. You still get an interior presence as she was working the paint the whole time against that zone.
Coming off an 8-minute, 6-point performance to win against the Vaqueros. A rebound by Mawini. Here comes Seals. Under 4 minutes here in this opening quarter. Seals with a drive over Freeman, back tip. And Blanks again is right there for the Wolverines.
Another play from Carly Norris, tipping that ball out. She might not get credit with the offensive rebound, but she was surely the one that created it.
Good player, reserve here for the Wolverines. Has played a lot in her career for Coach Kathy Nixon. One-handed, or one-footed shot, I should say, by Patrice Toston, the senior out of Seattle.
And the New Mexico State zone is expanding. There is a lot of space when they're in the 3-2 zone and they're getting out to all the shooters. A lot of driving lanes are open for the Wolverines, and they have been driving the basketball early on.
Mack, she can hit the three, dribbles in and hits the mid-range jumper instead. She had 21 points in that first meeting down in Las Cruces against the Wolverines. And it's a 3-point advantage here by the Aggies.
Yeah, back and forth game here, a lot of action. Both teams, I think, are got to be real pleased with how they've started the game.
Seals. Three ball does not fall. And here comes the freshman Salas. Davis in the lane.
In the same vein that the Wolverines have got penetration. That's what New Mexico State is trying to do, but for the most part, on-ball defense like that, I think, has been pretty good for UVU.
And Seals steps in front, comes up with a steal. Goes all the way and is able to finish. Mariah Seals, the sophomore out of Richmond, California, one of the captains on this team. 5'3", they call her Minnie, off to a good start. And she comes up with a rebound.
Offensive rebound. That was great anticipation on the play before, playing into the passing lane, picking the ball off. And then you get another shot there from Sasha Weber, this time not able to finish the shot.
Weber has a couple of made threes in this first quarter. We'll take a break as there's finally stop and play. It's been a free-flowing first quarter. 1:42 left, and it's the Aggies on top of the Wolverines by a count of 12-11. Back to Orem after this.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance.
I know that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Icky Woods will celebrate almost anything?
44. Woo! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts.
Geico.
Cuts. Get some cold.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know certain cartoon characters should never have an energy drink?
Action.
Geico.
Boy, if you've never been to the WAC tournament, this year is the year to go. It'll be ultra competitive, 7 teams. Should be a lot of fun. That's going to be March 9th through the 12th down in the Orleans Arena. 6th consecutive year, been down in Las Vegas. And, of course, always a great time. You're on your favorite WAC teams. We got the numbers. So far, Weber with 6 and Loggins with 5 top scores for both teams.
And look what the Wolverines have been able to do against the zone. 10 points in the paint. 10 of the 11 points that they have been in the paint from penetrations or duck-ins like Loggins is working inside and Carly Norris was doing inside. And the Wolverines, nice job of not turning the basketball. Only one so far.
Loggins back outside. Blank's tough shot. That was one of the keys, forcing bad shots.
Yep.
And Utah Valley, they've done a nice job, as you mentioned, in that interior, but that one was a little bit forced because of that defense.
It was. It's exactly what New Mexico State wants to do, and they want to force those bad shots to not give any easy opportunities. Another long three there that's missed.
Georgia Agnew, another captain of this Utah Valley squad, back in the game for Coach Nixon. Comes off the bench and immediately scores.
Yeah, the penetration, the dribble drives, and the penetration, as you see a lapse in transition defense here from UVU. Very nice job of Mariah Max getting ahead, getting in front of the defense, and a challenging and tough finish inside. And you know, this is what a made basket for New Mexico State does. It allows them to set up this defense, which almost doesn't have a ton of form, but it gets that pressure that they want.
Something GCU had a difficult time with after that made bucket by New Mexico State was getting it past half court.
Yeah, and look at the zone here, and you see all that space inside. That's where you're going to see Loggins working, and another short shot clock situation. This plays right into what New Mexico State wants to do.
Seals just gets it off before the clock expires. Down to 5 seconds here in a quickly moving first quarter. Down to one, got to get something off, and they won't. So that's how the first quarter comes to an end. Well played by both teams. New Mexico State 14, Utah Valley 13. You're watching the WAC Digital Network. Back to Orem after this.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others, just as they have inspired us. We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
They come for one of the nation's top-rated business schools, the world-class performing arts, the advances in engineering and health science, and more than 125 leading degree programs. Their paths to success go in many directions, but they all start here, UMKC, the place for people going places.
Welcome back to the PE building here on the campus of Utah Valley. We're in Orem, Utah. You're watching the WAC Game of the Week on the WAC Digital Network. New Mexico State, 10-game winning streak, leading 14-13. Utah Valley with possession as we begin the second quarter.
And you see why New Mexico State leads the conference in so many statistics like turnovers, and you know, they lead the conference because they're very active on defense, and they try and get out to the shooters, and just as we talked about the key to the game, they like to try and force those bad shots.
And again, the clock winding down, although that's a good look from the corner with 2 seconds, and Mack comes up with a rebound. Mack was the defensive player of the conference last year. As we mentioned, had a really big game in Las Cruces the last time the Wolverines and New Mexico State played. Shot was not full by Tyler Ellis, the junior out of Antelope, California, seeing her first action here for Coach Mark Trapp. And again, the Wolverines a chance to take the lead. They've only led for 9 seconds of this game. Seals missing. Top active scorer, Mariah Seals, was the freshman of the year in the conference last season. Mack, good pull-up jumper. 2 strong rebound. Loggins is there and collects another one.
Yeah, this is an important lineup for New Mexico State because the 2 leading scorers are out. It's where do they go for offense? Is an unbelievably quick drive there on the left wing from Mariah Seals. Nice finish with the left hand.
A sensational player, no question about it. Averaging 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 28 steals, tops for Utah Valley.
And how about that? That's the first foul of the game right there. We've played almost 12 minutes. That was the first foul of the game.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because I think it's been a well-officiated game so far as letting them play, and it's been a clean game up to that point.
Great pace and flow to this one. Again, the 2 top scoring teams in the conference. Utah Valley, incidentally, number 1 in field goal percentage. Shot 40% in that first 10 minutes. Davis left it short. Ellis got it back. Here's Mack. Seals on her. Abby Scott checking into the game for Coach Track. Been hampered by a bad ankle at a Madras, Oregon. Coach Nixon wanted to walk, and Scott knocks it down. Abby Scott, the senior, 6'1". Playing time has been up and down this year. 28% three-point shooter, knocks that one in.
And that's what she does. 81 threes on the year out of her 102 shots. So she is a three-point shooter first and foremost. That's what happens when you can, as New Mexico State did, get a dribble penetration, collapse, force the defense into help. You space your shooters out and eventually get it to her. She was wide open on the perimeter.
Again, the clock winding down to 3 seconds, and the bucket is good by Gordon, the freshman out of Mount Pleasant, Utah, went to North San Pete High School.
Again, against a zone defense, there is a ton of space around the perimeter, and there are gaps all over the place that can be driven.
Gordon again. Oh, nice pass to Seals. Could not find the handle in time. They got to pull it out. Tied at 17, under 7 minutes here in the second quarter.
And New Mexico State, we said they played the 3-2 zone. At times they play the man-to-man defense. And that's exactly what you want against the man-to-man defense. Dump that ball inside to the player who has a size advantage. Sam Loggins, a very nice job of keeping her body control with the foul.
As Weber comes back into the game. Loggins at the free throw line, a senior. Shooting 70% from the line.
Excuse me, New Mexico State's not trying to front the post. They're staying behind Loggins, and so if they're in that man-to-man, usually off of a missed shot, the Wolverines can look for her, might eventually draw some type of a double team and open up other chances.
Loggins now game high 7 points even after that missed free throw. That went way off the mark that time by Weber.
And New Mexico State on their offense, I like what they do because they're trying to space the floor. They're trying to get dribble drives and penetration from their perimeter players. And, if it's their dump-offs or drive and kick basketball, that's what they're really trying to do. For New Mexico State, that ball doesn't stick in one place.
Loggins now surrounded as Weber came for the help defense and forced another turnover.
Yeah, that was a time where Loggins was double teamed there. As you said, the double team came over. That's a missed shot. Air ball from deep, a little too deep there, I think, for Abby Scott.
And here's it from Coach Track.
Yeah, sorry, to finish the point, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, if they keep dumping that ball into Loggins, they're going to get some double teams that time they did, and that's exactly what New Mexico State wants, is a forced shot. And look at this pressure. I think that an interesting point, you don't often see 4 players, 4 defenders in the backcourt as New Mexico State is. Look how up they are, and they're trying to trap, trying to force some turnover and get their offense going. But the Wolverines have done a really nice job of handling it.
Ellis was the only one that was back deep. Everybody else, as you mentioned, up past half court. Should mention Norris, number 13, is checked in for Coach Nixon. And also Ellis for New Mexico State, whistle and a foul.
Yeah, Norris has done a really nice job, as has Logan, with some duck-in moves, meaning that you have the defender behind you. Look how much space is inside there. With the pressure that's on the perimeter that New Mexico State is putting on, the interior players for the Wolverines can take advantage of that with moves, strong moves to the basket.
Norris makes good on that first free throw. Shooting just 55% from the charity stripe. One more coming up. The junior out of Hiram, Utah, went to Mountain Crest High School. One-time Mustang, able to knock down both free throws. And look at this, 21-17. Utah Valley with the lead here in the second quarter as we approach the 5-minute mark. Two of the hotter teams in the conference.
See, a lot of what New Mexico State does is dribble drives and handoffs around the perimeter, trying to create some space, find gaps in the defense, and then they'll penetrate and drive.
Freeman working against Norris, able to draw a contact and a foul, and will head to the free throw line.
All while that action on the perimeter is happening, you have players looking for the post up inside, as Brianna Freeman was there. Waited patiently, and a nice pass inside. She gets to the line.
Freeman, not only the player of the year in the conference last year, but also the tournament player of the year on the season, averaging 11 points, 6 rebounds, which is tops on the team, and a couple of block shots per game.
And she shot 1 3 on the season, so her game, this is exactly what they want. That is exactly what they want. The Wolverines, that's their worst possession so far against the press, because it's the ball gets picked up on the wing, it's a long pass inside, and a great anticipation from Sasha Weber.
And now it's a 1-point game. Utah Valley with the lead and possession. See where they go for offense here. Tostin. Norris looking for help. Here's Blanks. Clock down to 4. Nice look inside. Norris with the finish, but how about that setup by Blanks?
What a great pass off and dish from Blanks. She did a nice job of drawing the defense to her in a very unselfish pass. And again, more points in the paint for the Wolverines.
Harden putting it on the floor, now looking for help, and she turned it over. Walked with it. All right, we'll step aside. We'll take a break. 4:03 left. It's the Wolverines leading New Mexico State by a score of 23-20. You're watching the WAC Digital Network. Back to Orem after this.
We will work our minds, raise our hands, and search for the answers. We will study the stars, learn to speak each other's languages, and hear each other's songs. We will make each tomorrow brighter, more prosperous, and completely new. We cannot predict the future, but we can and will build it. We will come together. The University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. New opportunities for the 21st century.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
Welcome back to Orem, Utah. Second quarter, 23-20. Utah Valley leading New Mexico State in this WAC Game of the Week on the WAC Digital Network. And Utah Valley, a decided advantage, points in the paint, plus 14, leading 20-6 in that category.
Yeah, 20 of their 23 points have been in the paint, and it's been because of the zone in my mind and the presence. As you get another pass inside here, this is exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to work that ball inside to Loggins where they have the advantage, and if Loggins has a shot, she'll take it. If not, she'll kick it out to the wing. But this is what the Wolverines want to do, is force the others. The defense has to come in and has to be sucked into the paint, and New Mexico State knows that they're getting hurt with the points in the paint.
Foul was on Freeman. That's her first personal.
Neither team shooting the ball really well either. That's kind of been what's hampered New Mexico State, is they're only 40% from the field right now. The Wolverines a little bit better at 46%.
Utah Valley, the top field goal percentage team in the WAC. Seals. Clock again down to 5. Loggins. And able to get bailed out somewhat with a foul call. I didn't know if they're going to call travel or a foul, but they called a foul. And now the coaching staff says, hey, she was shooting the ball.
Yeah,
I think free throws.
I think it's a good no call on the shot there because I think she was making her move. She hadn't left the ground yet, so good no call there. And they're going to get a hold here on, I think they're going to get a call on number 10. Nope, they are going to get that on Brianna Freeman, holding Loggins inside, and this puts the Wolverines at the free throw line.
2 quick fouls now called on Freeman, and as you mentioned, now bonus time here for the Wolverines with 3:26 remaining in the second quarter, and Loggins at the line.
Yeah, she's causing problems. I think it's fair to say that. Even if she doesn't always get the ball, I think she's doing some things as far as creating space because she's forcing so many defenders to come into her area and guard her because of that size advantage she has.
Now the game's top scorer after those made free throws, 9-8. As Weber is the top scorer for New Mexico State. More importantly, it's a 5-point lead for the Wolverines. Freeman now attacking Loggins, and she will head to the line.
And this is where New Mexico State might have a little bit of an advantage because of the size where Loggins has on offense. New Mexico State looks like they're going to try and force her out, get her out of the paint to defend against Brianna Freeman. That time it was almost as if it was an isolation play. Loggins has to come out and defend against Freeman because she'll take the jump shot, and if she does come out, then Freeman has a little bit of a quickness advantage in driving to the basket.
Able to knock down both free throws after picking up 2 quick fouls in that pressure. Toston does a nice job not panicking. Able to get out of that situation, but a turnover here is Mack and Weber. Davis on the drive, and Shanice Davis, first 2 points. Averages 9 a game and 3 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, that's textbook what New Mexico State wants to do. They don't get the initial turnover, but they keep pressuring. They get the trap on the wing. They get the force pass, long over the top pass. And if they can get out in transition, Wolverines didn't get back in time, easy layup.
Inside to Loggins, left it short, but got her own miss and put back. So again, you saw that points in the paint graphic. Add 2 more, 22 now in the paint for Utah Valley, and 2 more for Loggins now in double figures with 11.
Here's what we're saying right there.
And Freeman attacks Loggins and scores inside.
Yeah, I heard one of the UVU coaches yelling, stay back, so I think they might be willing to give her that jump shot. And they did. She had the jump shot, but she felt that she could get to the basket, and sure she did.
Mack racing down, scores 2 more inside. That transition, deadly for the Aggies.
Yeah, turnovers are just killing the Wolverines against the press. It seems like New Mexico State has given a little bit more life to it. They've, I think, been a little bit more aggressive with it the past 2 possessions. And what you don't want against pressure is long passes and not on-time passes because they'll get picked off. And a great finish there from Mariah Mack in transition.
Giving the Aggies the lead. Loggins inside, a whistle and a foul.
They're going to get traveling. I don't think they called a foul. I think they got her with traveling.
That was too quick with the call. I think you're right.
Yeah, you see the great defense from Brianna Freeman coming over and being in perfect position on time, and she traveled. Sam Loggins traveled before she could get the shot away.
And that would have been, devastating for New Mexico State because that would have been number 3 on Freeman.
Yeah, she cannot pick up another foul.
She's had a really good second quarter. Jumper on the way, does not fall. Seals comes up with a rebound. Freeman with 9 points.
I can't stress how important it is for the Wolverines to get those rebounds off of those missed shots because you see how much different it is for the Wolverines bringing the ball up with no pressure versus with pressure. They face short shot clocks when they're pressed and trapped in the backcourt.
Mawhinney for 3. Loggins battles for it, out of bounds. It'll be New Mexico State basketball. 37 seconds left here in the first half. And we've got a timeout by Coach Track. Wants to talk things over.
Mexico State's done a really nice job of battling back. I think they gave themselves some life, a little bit more intensity from what I saw in the pressure. And they got some easy turnovers, and they were able to convert those out in transition. 2 easy transition baskets has really propelled the Aggies.
Mark Track has done a fantastic job with New Mexico State. I remember talking to him his first year. They were 6-24 in year 1, and the turnaround that has happened at Las Cruces is amazing. Last year was a dream season. They won the conference for the first time since 1988. They won the conference title. So, and Kathy Nixon also. She has been in Orem for 21 years. She's done a fabulous job. 341 career wins. And her team already, if they get a win today or their next win, they'll already beat what they did last year. They had 11 total wins last year. They're at 11 right now. They're 11-12 coming into today's game. So
we talked about it. 2 hot teams, right? Yeah. I mean, playing great basketball, and it's no surprise that we have the close game here that we do.
About a 6-second differential here. Mack pulls the trigger. Too strong. Seals got a hand on it. Went to Loggins. And now Utah Valley, they can play for the final shot, perhaps the lead.
Going to get her with a carry. Going to get Mariah Seals with the carry on the perimeter.
You see, palms up. She's saying, "What I do?" And they called
the carry, which is not something that you see often, but
must have thought she had an advantage.
Yeah, see the replay here. I don't know. You usually see that. Oh, great steal there from Loggins. No good on the half-court shot, though.
So Loggins steps in front but misses, and that's how the first half comes to an end. Well played, the 2 hottest teams in the conference. Right now, it's New Mexico State leading 28-27 over Utah Valley. We'll step aside and take a break. You're watching the WAC Game of the Week on the WAC Digital Network.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
I am Dr. Michael Scheller. I am Associate Dean of the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology at GCU. We want students that have passion. We're looking for well-rounded students. Engineering and technology are the fastest growing fields. We have a great curriculum. All our programs are hands-on. People that come out of this program will be workforce ready.
Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
welcome back to Orem, Utah. You're watching the WAC Game of the Week on the WAC Digital Network. We're at halftime. Our score 28-27. New Mexico State leading Utah Valley. It's been a well-played first half.
Yeah.
What you expected?
Yeah, absolutely. A tough game. I think both teams made runs. Both teams have done some things really well that we expected. We'll take a look at a lot of the highlights. Sasha Weber got off to that quick start. She made those 2 deep threes very early on in the game. She's got 8 points currently. We're going to see a theme here when you see the Wolverine highlights, and it's going to be baskets in the paint. The Wolverines have done a really nice job of focusing their offense there, and towards the end of the half, New Mexico State did a really nice job of getting their own baskets in the paint off of turnovers and transition opportunities. So, a lot of really good play. I think the players that we expected to play well have done so for both teams. We talked about the key players, and they have both played really well on both sides. It's setting up for a fantastic second half of basketball.
Yeah, kind of Mariah Mack coming off the bench, a big lift for Coach Track. And, Seals, this is her only made bucket of that first half with the steal and the layup. And, of course, the perimeter shooting, Abby Scott, that's what she does, right?
Yeah.
As you mentioned, the majority of her shots are from deep. And then Weber steps in front. We saw 3 of her field goals.
Yeah, the Aggies made their run towards the end of the second quarter there when they were able to get the pressure that they wanted. They got some nice pressure on the Wolverines and some easy baskets, and so a lot of good things I think from both teams so far.
How about stats? Anything really pop out at you? I know the points in the paint's a big one that we've been following. I would imagine that would be
I think
key.
Look how even the game has been so far. Turnovers 6 each, rebounds 15 each, assists are close, fouls are close, field goal percentages right there. The one thing that sticks out for me for UVU is 0 of 8 from the 3, but they haven't needed it. They have taken threes when they've got great looks, but those shots haven't fallen for them. But they haven't really needed it again, as we talked about, all those points in the paint. So a very even game. The score indicates that and shows that. But I think it's been good. I think both teams go into the locker room and say, yeah, I'm pleased with what we've done. Let's clean up a few things, and we should be in good shape.
Loggins top scorer with 11, and then Freeman top scorer for New Mexico State. She's got 9.
Yeah, Brianna Freeman with 9 points, Sasha Weber with 8 points. Those were the 2 people that we watched for. And you had Sam Loggins, as you mentioned. Mariah Seals has not shot the ball real well. 0 of 3 from the three-point line, 2 of 7 overall. But she's done other things. She's driven the basketball. She's dished. She's penetrated the defense. So, those 4 key players that we looked at, they're definitely the key players so far in
their job
this game.
So far.
In this game.
Well, since we're on the campus of Utah Valley, let's take this look at their 75th anniversary, Utah Valley University.
In 1941, as the nation slowly recovered from the Great Depression and the shadow of war crept closer, a vocational school was born in the heart of Utah Valley. Housed originally in deserted Army barracks on the Utah County Fairgrounds, the institution was small and its numbers were few. But what transpired over the ensuing 75 years is, by many accounts, nothing short of miraculous, or how far we've come in such a relatively short period of time. Here you won't find sprawls of ivy and collegiate Gothic architecture that date back hundreds of years. What you will find, and have always been able to find, is a campus full of workhorses and doers. That's what our institution is predicated on. The foundation of what is today known as Utah Valley University was laid by many, too many to name or count, but none more so than by Wilson W. Sorensen. Originally hired as a purchasing agent and treasurer, he went on to become the institution's second president, a post he held for 37 years. Wilson devoted his life to the school, literally rolling up his sleeves to paint girders and lay ceramic tile himself. That attitude, shared by so many over the years, established a persistent can-do spirit and a legacy of grit, determination, and ingenuity that have been hallmarks of the institution ever since. He also had vision. We eventually outgrew the old barracks and made other stops in Provo before Wilson purchased 185 acres of farmland adjacent to a gravel pit across town in Orem. Likely seen as a gamble by some, this would prove to be a defining moment for the institution. Through the decades, whether in support of the war effort or the information age, UVU has always responded in kind with academic programs to match the region's ever-evolving workforce and economic development needs. One of the few constants over the years has been change. We're nothing if not nimble, able to turn on a dime and adapt whenever needed. You'd be hard-pressed to find another institution that has evolved from a hardy vocational school to a robust university in 75 years' time. We've grown in physical size and academic stature, but in some respects, the more things have changed, the more they've stayed the same. Foremost among them is our hands-on, experiential, engaged learning approach to education. You might say it's in our DNA, whether alongside steel workers, computer programmers, or medical health professionals. No matter the discipline or level of study, our students have always had opportunities to learn by doing and to enter the workforce with both a diploma and a resume. Just as innate is a spirit of inclusivity that pervades our campus. Whether UTC or UVU, admission is, by design, open, and we have always had a place for, and means to help, anyone willing to put forth the effort. Today, UVU students can choose from master degrees and 60-plus bachelor degrees, but we also continue to offer roughly the same number of associate degrees and dozens of certificate programs. It's an educational mission that is truly unique, one focused on providing the breadth, rigor, and advanced training of a first-rate teaching university, while retaining access to the trade and technical training of an open admissions institution where student success is at the heart of everything we do. From supplying the aircraft to flying it, from analog switches and knobs to leading-edge digital 3D printing, from oversized monochrome computers to the laptops, tablets, and smart devices of the current generation. Student success and community responsiveness drive it all. One of the differences today is the scale on which we're fulfilling this unique mission, unparalleled in the nation, according to several industry experts. With enrollment recently exceeding the 33,000 mark, UVU is now the largest university in the state and among the largest in the Western U.S. Another is that our reputation extends far beyond county borders. The state, region, nation, and even world are taking note of Utah Valley University as a growing force in the higher education landscape. Today, the acreage of farmland and gravel are now nearly fully developed and filled nearly to capacity, prompting President Matthew Holland, in his own self-described Wilson-Sorensen moment, to secure an additional 225 acres to help absorb future growth. The land, ironically and appropriately enough, sits on the site of the old Geneva steel mill, where so many of our early students and graduates grew and worked professionally. In 2016, we honor and celebrate their legacy, and the legacy of every student, professor, staff member, administrator, alumnus, supporter, and friend ever associated with this university. It's a legacy that is now 75 years strong and that grows stronger with each passing semester. As President Holland has said, this university is hardwired to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles with pluck and ingenuity. It is in our genes. We've been doing it since our inception in 1941, and look where we are today. Give us another 75 years and watch what we accomplish.
All right, welcome back. You're watching the WAC Game of the Week on the WAC Digital Network. Halftime, New Mexico State leading 28-27 over Utah Valley. We've seen the highlights. We've seen some stats. What do you think we're going to see in the second half?
Yeah, just making some notes to myself. I think that from New Mexico State's perspective, can they stop Sam Loggins? I mean, she has been a bright spot for UVU, and New Mexico State maybe makes an adjustment where they try and double team her or get a little bit more pressure on her if they're in the zone or in the man. And I think we saw at the very end of the second quarter there what makes New Mexico State tick, kind of what we've been talking about. Can they force turnovers? You mentioned 20 turnovers a game is what New Mexico State forces. They've only forced 6 for the Wolverines, and 4 of those were in the last 3-4 minutes of the game. So can New Mexico State stop Sam Loggins, and can they force turnovers to get themselves going? And I think for the Wolverines, can they defend the key players? Brianna Freeman with 9 points, as we mentioned, Sasha Weber with 8. Can those two players be stopped or contained, so to speak, in the second half here? And I think for UVU, it just as New Mexico State's trying to turn the basketball over, can UVU take care of the basketball? Because if they can, I think they've got a terrific shot here. And let's not mistake what this is for the Wolverines. This would be a huge victory because you get New Mexico State with those 10 straight wins, sitting atop the conference. Both teams got to focus here in the last 20 minutes, but what a big game it is for both teams, and we'll see the intensity pick up, I think, too, in the last 20.
Yeah, we saw shots of Coach Mark Track moments ago on New Mexico State's sideline. He is one of 10 coaches to lead 3 teams to the NCAA tournament. His prior teams, USC and Pepperdine.
That's pretty amazing.
So he's done a nice job, and he did that last year with his New Mexico State team, and really it's almost become like a magic number for them because they are undefeated, unblemished in conference play, but right now in a dogfight here with the Wolverines, leading by just one, 28-27 as we start the second half. Sasha Weber had a quick 8 points. He was kind of quiet after that. Hit those back-to-back threes, and haven't heard very much from her. William having an issue with the pass. Here's Salas scoreless in that first half, and she turns it over. A charge. Tossin in good position for the Wolverines.
Yeah, absolutely. The shot clock was running down, and you see the awareness. You see her slide over. Tostin came over, took the charge. Great opening possession on defense for UVU. I will say one other key maybe that I'm just thinking as we start the second half here. Player with the ball right now. They've got to get Mariah Seals. She's done some things that's sparked the team, but I think she needs to score just a little bit more in the second half here to help the Wolverines.
Blanks misses it, but Tossin gets it back. Another name that I'm kind of curious about, Rebecca Mawhinney, scoreless in that first half. I think she needs to be productive here in the second half for them to have a chance, as the three ball is good. First made three of the game, courtesy of Mariah Seals, and that's a player you thought needed to step up a little bit more in the second half.
Right on cue, right? The Wolverines 0 for 8 in the first half from the three-point line. You finally get one to fall here, but you have a mental breakdown because off of the deep three, you have Mariah Seals, who is the point guard, usually one of the first to get back in transition. She takes the deep shot in the corner. There wasn't a quick enough rotation or quick enough transition defense to get back and a couple passes ahead, and Brianna Freeman gets fouled and at the line.
Now in double figures with 10, and misses on the second. So it's a 1-point advantage here for Utah Valley. In that pressure, boy.
Yeah, 10 second. They didn't get it across in 10 seconds. I think that they said that the foot of Rebecca Mawhinney was on the half-court line when the clock was at 20 seconds, and they get the backcourt violation.
So turnover, and then it leads to a three by the freshman Brooke Salas. First points of the game.
And that was a quick basket off of the turnover, and you're going to get an offensive foul here on Mariah Seals. we just talked about kind of the keys to the second half here, and look what's happened so far. New Mexico State has forced turnovers. The Wolverines have not taken care of the basketball. Those two things early on are really showing.
Back-to-back turnovers, 32-30 the score. Opening moments here, the third quarter. And Mawhinney able to run down the ball. See what she can do on this offensive end. Again, Rebecca Mawhinney averages 9 points. Team's top rebounder averaging 6 inside to Loggins, who was terrific in that first half. Misses, good contest that time by the Aggies. Salas. Davis was kind of quiet in that first half for her. Why not? Takes the shot, misses. Loggins with the rebound.
I've really liked the Wolverines' on-ball defense. I think they've, one-on-one defense as New Mexico State tries to drive and penetrate. I think it's been fantastic for the Wolverines. New Mexico State hasn't gotten a lot of what they wanted from their offense. Oh, great job of fronting, getting around Loggins. A steal there from Brianna Freeman. Doesn't have that size advantage, but she showed there that quickness advantage, anticipating the pass. It wasn't a quick on-time pass, and she hopped around front.
William with the rebound, but then she turns it over. They call a double dribble there?
Yes, they did.
Shielded a little bit on the play, and so a double dribble and another turnover. So we had such a free-flowing first half.
A little different here.
Not many turnovers and not many fouls, but yeah, you mentioned it. Not the case here as we begin the third quarter. Boy, Tostin all the way.
Yeah, and New Mexico State's press was beaten immediately. And Tostin, when you get that ball in the middle of the court, she had a 3-on-2. She did a great job of pressuring, forcing the action, and nobody stopped her, and she went all the way for the layup.
Now with 4 points, Tostin, and tied up at 32. You see the turnover situation, pretty even. 8-9. Again, New Mexico State, they force 20 a game. That's what they average. And a whistle and a foul inside.
Yeah, Tostin with a reach in there, just saw the ball, tried to swipe it away, but got called for the foul.
That's her second. Mack to inbound it for the Aggies. Good game. The largest lead, 6.
They can get a legal screen here. That was a well-designed play. I love seeing those plays where it's kind of like a mousetrap type play on the wing where you have two players setting a screen. That time, Sasha Weber going through the two players, and right when she goes through, they close it off to set a screen on the wing. And they're getting called. I think they called, they didn't call Brianna Freeman with that, right? I think they called.
I thought it was Salas, perhaps.
Salas, yeah, gets called.
They haven't put it up on the board here, but I thought it was Salas. And yeah, there was that in the first half. There was a close call. Was it a travel? Would have been a foul on Freeman. The call was a travel, and so Freeman, at that time with 2 fouls, the third would have been tough for New Mexico State in the first half.
And essentially, it came down to a moving screen there. Great offense there from UVU, because what they did is kind of overloaded one side, and you had Rebecca Mawhinney right in the baseline with a nice jumper.
So that was on Salas, and she now has 4 personal fouls. Really only one in foul trouble in this game. 34-32. Utah Valley on top with possession here. Looking to add to it. Loggins inside. Missed it. Freeman with the rebound. It seemed like if she just would have put it up instead of, there was a hesitation there. And a little too strong off the glass.
There was, and then she might have anticipated getting a foul called against her too. A lot of times when you take time inside to dribble the basketball, the defense has time to recover, and you think that there's going to be a foul, and maybe you're not quite fully on balance for the shot.
Freeman misses the jumper. Tracked down by Mack. We're going to call. They're going to say it stays with New Mexico State. 5:20 here in the third quarter. We're going to have some subs come in. Norris, who played pretty well in that first half, good production for Coach Nixon, checks in. And Loggins now will have a seat on the bench, as well as Mawhinney and Tostin.
Yeah, going to get Loggins a break, and pretty critical minutes right here, I think, for the Wolverines, and especially Carly Norris. She needs to keep up the intensity she played with in the first half, and give that same interior presence that Loggins gives now that she's out.
Yeah, Norris had 6 points in the first half. Davis in the lane. Oh, nice pass to Freeman. Freeman, if she would have taken a couple steps towards the basket, might have been a layup. Nope, I think she anticipated that pass.
Yeah, I think it was Banks that came over too with the help defense and knocked that away. Another good anticipation play from her.
Agnew. Georgia Agnew, one of the captains for Coach Nixon. Might hear from her a little bit more before this game is done. Jumper off the mark. Blanks. Hustles. Second chance. She got it blocked. And now Utah Valley with another rebound.
That's Asia Banks is tired because she has been really active with the steal, with the offensive rebound, giving her team second chances. She's doing it all right now.
Looking inside to Norris, deflected out by Freeman. Freeman says she wants to come out of the game, but there's a break in the action, and we'll take it with them. 4:19 left. Utah Valley in front of New Mexico State by a score of 34-32. Back to Orem after this.
People talk about college like you're in some kind of bubble. Like there's college and then there's the real world. Hey, this is UVU. You're not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. This is engaged learning. At the certificate, associate's, bachelor's, or master's level, you're in the real world every day.
I am Dr. Michael Scheller. I am Associate Dean of the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology at GCU. We want students that have passion. We're looking for well-rounded students. Engineering and technology are the fastest growing fields. We have a great curriculum. All our programs are hands-on. People that come out of this program will be workforce ready.
Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
We've had 9 lead changes. It's been tied twice. It's been a good one, 34-32 our score. Did want to mention New Mexico State, they led by 1 at the break, 15-1 when they lead at halftime. And for Utah Valley, they're 4-9 when trailing at the break. See if those trends continue. We got a quick whistle.
They're going to get Sam Loggins with an offensive foul here. She was battling inside with number 22, Tyler Ellis. Those two have done battle tonight when they've been in the game, but Sam Loggins was fighting for position, extended her arm a little bit, and Tyler Ellis draws the foul.
The second on Loggins. Also the high score with 11 points. Here's Shanice Davis. Knocks down the mid-range jump shot, and now tied at 34. Under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was one of the few times that we've seen UVU have a breakdown defensively. I think there was a screen that was set that allowed Shanice Davis to come off, and a really nice job. I love seeing that play from players when they read the defense. They know that they've got an easy shot. Great job of pulling up for the shot.
Loggins, top shot, able to split the defenders, goes glass and gives the Wolverines a 2-point lead.
And that time she wasn't rushed. I think previously we've seen her seem a little bit rushed inside. That time she read where the defense was, knew she had the size advantage, and knocked down the shot.
She has 13. Abby Scott misses on the 3, and Loggins another rebound. Leaves 6 rebounds now for Sam. Blanks. Inside again to Loggins, and a chance now at a 3-point play for Sam Loggins. Now 15 points, looking to add to it.
Yeah, you know, we said, can New Mexico State stop Sam Loggins, and they have not been able to. That time, think there was a cross screen inside where you had a nice screen that was set. Loggins was able to stay within the paint but kind of curl off of the screen, and it was just a well-executed play right on time and drew the contact from New Mexico State.
Gets the bounce here in the PE building, and now it is 39-34. Under 3 minutes in the quarter. Back outside, Mack missing on the three and had a tremendous performance in the first meeting down in Las Cruces back in January. Missing on that shot, so it will be Aggie basketball, 2:41 left. Should mention Zaire Williams, number 12, has checked in for Coach Track. We did not see her in that first half. Mack. Boy, Seals hit the deck. Mack misses on the shot, and here come the Wolverines. Looking to add to their lead.
Excuse me, New Mexico State with their offense. Tyler Ellis is very active in setting screens. They're letting Mack come off, and you get a long three ball here. Rebecca Mawhinney right on time with the long three-point basket.
Mawhinney, we talked about her scoreless in the first half, now with 5 points here in the third quarter. And Utah Valley, their largest lead now, 42-34. We'll take it with them. 2:04 left. You're watching the WAC Game of the Week on the WAC Digital Network. Back after this.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to winning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
Our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
we take pride in our communities,
And believe that we can inspire others, just as they have inspired us. We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
we are
The Western Athletic Conference.
They come for one of the nation's top-rated business schools, the world-class performing arts, the advances in engineering and health science, and more than 125 leading degree programs. Their paths to success go in many directions, but they all start here, UMKC, the place for people going places.
Welcome back inside the PE building here at Utah Valley University. You're watching the WAC Digital Network's WAC Game of the Week. And Sam Loggins, the senior out of Boise, a tremendous performance, 16 points. Might be looking at the Conference Player of the Week if she can continue this pace.
I think this is a critical possession for New Mexico State because UVU is on a run. New Mexico State's gone cold from the field. They need a basket desperately.
And they go inside and they get it. One of the freshmen, Ellis, I'm sorry, not a freshman, a junior out of Antelope, California with the bucket. Much needed by Coach Track and company.
And that was much needed, as you said, and a really nice finish from Tyler Ellis, providing that spark inside.
Blanks inside, oh, nice move, a little bit of a spinner. And two more for the Wolverines.
What a terrific move there from Blanks, reading the defense, and another great block inside from Sam Loggins. But how about that spin move from Deja Blanks? She's showing how many different ways that she can impact the game, both defensively and offensively with that shot.
You see that points in the paint graphic again. It continues to be a big number for Utah Valley. Ellis. attacking Loggins. Tough shot. Got it to go.
Great shot there. You'd think that she was going to drive all the way to the basket, but she realized, I think, she had Loggins a little bit off balance, used an ever so slight ball fake, and gets the basket to go.
Did not score in the game against GCU as Utah Valley. I thought they turned it over. It's going to stay here, knocked out last by New Mexico State. But Ellis averages 11 minutes, 2 points, and 4 rebounds. A couple of clutch shots here with 4 points in the quarter.
And while she doesn't have the size that you'd need, I think, to defend Loggins, she's done a very nice job of holding her ground against Sam Loggins.
Oh, Moretti feeling it from the outside. Her second made 3. Now with 8 points all in the third quarter. The lead is 9. Ellis surrounded by Wolverines back outside. So New Mexico State being pushed here again, undefeated in conference play. Average margin of victory about 10 points, and that's tops in the conference. Weber down to 3. Davis, 1 on the shot clock, was short. Does draw iron. Banks with the rebound. Here comes Seals. Nobody was back, and that's how the quarter comes to an end. Utah Valley running out of time, but what a third quarter put in by the Wolverines, in particular by Rebecca Mawini. 8 points, and Utah Valley now leading 47-38. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. You're watching the WAC Digital Network. Back to Orem after this.
We will work our minds, raise our hands, and search for the answers. We will study the stars, learn to speak each other's languages, and hear each other's songs. We will make each tomorrow brighter, more prosperous, and completely new. We cannot predict the future, but we can and will build it. We will come together. The University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. New opportunities for the 21st century.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
How about the WAC standings here as we have a look? New Mexico State obviously perfect 8-0. Utah Valley 4-4, tied with GCU. Of course, GCU still undergoing the transition, so they're not going to be eligible for the WAC tournament. So Utah Valley, a really good opportunity to perhaps work their way up to second.
Terrific opportunity for UVU, and obviously New Mexico State, as they get a turnover here, Sasha Weber with the ball, but a great opportunity for the Wolverines to make up some ground.
And avoid playing New Mexico State in the conference tournament until you get to the semifinals. But that first game in Las Cruces was close, a 5-point win for New Mexico State. And right now it's Utah Valley having the better of it, their largest lead. Ellis walked inside by Loggins, and now we will have a whistle and a foul by Sam.
Ellis has been the offense for New Mexico State in the last few possessions. She has really done some nice things. You see Loggins with the terrific block there, but watch the second. If you're an official, or we didn't see the replay of the second attempt where the foul was called, but if the official sees your hand at an angle, anything other than vertical on an attempt like that, you're going to get called for a foul, and I think that's what happened to Loggins. But Tyler Ellis, what a spark she has been. She's been the offense for New Mexico State.
Seals Ellis back defensively. Did she step out? She did. And Ellis kind of forcing that action right there. Another turnover. That's the 13th committed by Utah Valley. Again, New Mexico State, they forced 20 a game, and they're going to need all those to climb back into this one. As you mentioned, they've kind of gotten cold on the offensive end. But real quickly, Utah Valley, how about 8 of 13 from the floor in that third quarter? And that 3 ball, which they haven't hit very many of, or none, until the third quarter, they were 3 for 4.
And this defense that they're playing is what's giving them the advantage right now. New Mexico State struggling as a terrific drive there from Mariah Mack. But, you can play defense like that, and you're going to get another turnover here from UVU. This is going to be their Achilles heel in the last 8.5 minutes here. Can they protect and take care of the basketball? Going to get a timeout here from Coach Nixon, but the turnovers now starting to add up and stack up for UVU. And how many times have we said it? That is exactly what New Mexico State wants. And the Wolverines, if they can just take care of the ball, they've done a great job slowing New Mexico State down on offense.
So I was able to watch the WAC Digital Network on Thursday afternoon. It was 11 o'clock tip-off here at the PE building when they took on the Vaqueros. And this is kind of a similar thing where they had a lead, and then the Vaqueros got back. They got back within 1, and then they went on an 11-0 spurt. As we have a look at some of the highlights here.
Yeah, this is going to be that last drive. You see how Mariah Mack gets low to the ground at the last second, looks up, keeps her eyes on the rim with the good finish. I think that Mariah Seals was expecting some help defense to come over, but I will look for New Mexico State as they go through a little bit of these struggles on offense. We haven't seen Brianna Freeman in the game a whole lot, but I think it's going to be those 3, Brianna Freeman, Sasha Weber, and Mariah Mack are going to be the ones that are going to put pressure on the UVU defense here in the last few minutes.
You brought up Mariah Mack's name, and that last highlight that we saw, that was with 1 second on the clock.
Yeah.
They really needed that one. And the game against Utah Valley at New Mexico State, she had 21 points and 4 assists and a couple of rebounds. So she was major in that game.
Yeah.
And, will they kind of get that production? She's got 8 points so far as, early stages of the fourth quarter. But, perhaps we'll see her on offense a little bit more.
Well, and I think that, looking at how she plays, she's the real driving threat. You have Sasha Weber. We haven't seen much driving from the perimeter from her, but Mariah Mack is kind of when the clock is running down who New Mexico State tries to get the ball to because she can create her own offense.
And I think Freeman just 1 point in that third quarter. So, certainly they'd like to get her involved.
Yeah, Tyler Ellis has taken the minutes. She's been the one that's played the most here. Well, played recently in place of Brianna Freeman.
Now, before we hit that one media timeout, Freeman was asking to come out of the game, so I wonder if she is tired. As Weber knocks down the 3, Sasha Weber, and that's how New Mexico State started the game, a couple of back-to-back threes by Sasha.
Yeah, and Wolverines are struggling here. Got to attack here. You got a 2-on-1, attack the ball.
But when he gives it up to Loggins.
That's a good decision there. You attack. If it's not there, that's fine. Don't force anything. Pull it out. Run your offense. Get a shot out of your set plays.
Loggins top scorer in the game, 16 points. Agnew with a drive, and it was deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah Valley.
5 seconds left on the shot clock here. They got to be aware of that.
Blanks will inbound it. Blanks actually had a pretty good game the last time these two teams met. She had 17 down in Las Cruces. She's got to get her off, and it's deflected. Ellis comes up with it, but it was the nice defense by Davis.
The bench for Utah Valley wanted a foul on the play. It looked like there was a little bit of contact, but play on from the officials.
3-point game, 47-44. Weber. They go inside to Ellis again, who was carried New Mexico State the latter stages of that third quarter. Clock again winding down, and again it's Sasha Weber. A quick 5 points.
When it's needed, your best players have to make the plays, and we said it was going to be the kind of the three-headed monsters. You're going to get a foul here, I think, on Sasha Weber, but she hit the 3 on the previous possession. Makes the jumper there. Your star players or your best players are going to be the ones that are going to get the ball and be a part of the action when it matters most. And the Wolverines, a couple possessions ago we said New Mexico State, it was a critical possession for them. Very critical possession here for UVU to stem the run that New Mexico State's had.
Seals just misses that jumper as Ellis again comes up with the ball. Here's Davis pushing. Davis still going. Now she's going to back it out.
And that was really good defense too from, kind of the player we've been talking so much about, Tyler Ellis. She did a great job of not fouling, keeping and holding her ground, forcing the missed shot on the possession previously.
Three won't fall, and we got a whistle and a foul underneath as Blanks came up with a rebound. And it's going to be called on New Mexico State.
That was a very strong weak side rebound there from Deja Blanks. Being in perfect position, went up high for the rebound.
So Mack called for her first personal foul. Now Freeman comes into the game for Ellis, and she should be well rested now.
See what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Look at the players for New Mexico State. 4 way up in the backcourt here. Another chance to push for the Wolverines.
Georgia Agnew misses. Weber might have got a piece of that one.
I think she did. That was a really nice move there. But Weber with good defense, and I do think she got a piece of that ball.
Mexico State a chance to take the lead on this possession. Davis. Under 6 to play.
Yeah, New Mexico State there tried to set a couple of screens to get their top scorer the ball up top.
Mack offensive rebound, got it blocked and got it back somehow, as I think that's block number 4 for Sam Loggins.
But there's Mariah Mack making another play with the offensive board.
Davis setting up Freeman. Freeman lost it. Loggins might have got a hand on it and stripped it from her, and then it last touched Freeman. And so New Mexico State turning it over with 5.5 to play. Another good defensive possession by Utah Valley. Ball is free for a moment. Blanks picks it up. I guess whatever it takes to get it over half court, they got it done.
New Mexico State is really active right now in that pressure. They're looking to trap where they necessarily didn't look to do that in the first half. They're now trying to trap as you get a steal weak side there from Shanice Davis.
She just took it away from Loggins. Mack. Shot does not fall, too strong. Boy, what a rebound that time.
Yeah, these offensive rebounds are hurting the Wolverines. New Mexico State getting some offensive rebounds. Davis with a long 3 here, but more chances, more opportunities as you get those rebounds.
That was William who came up with the rebound, but Utah Valley basketball is under 5 minutes here in the game. And what a well-played game it's been, both sides. Loggins been quiet on the offensive end last couple possessions. Got it inside, but missed it. Freeman again playing with 2 fouls. She's done a nice job staying out of foul trouble. She had 1 possession where she picked up quick 2. A whistle and a foul on the Davis drive. They're going to get Rebecca Mawhinney on the foul call, her first.
I mentioned a couple times, I think that the Wolverines have done a really nice job with their dribble penetration defense. Like when they get spaced out and New Mexico State is trying to drive, trying to penetrate, the Wolverines have done a nice job. That time you get called for the foul, but no team, neither team really close to getting into the bonus or getting free throws. Oh, what a steal here from Deja Blanks.
Blanks had 17 in Las Cruces and knocks down the fast break layup, and the lead is back to 3.
She's been very impressive tonight for me. She has been a spark at all levels for the Wolverines, and just when you need an unexpected play, she's there for it. What a steal and finish.
Davis. Agnew with a nice defense that time.
Blanks there right for the rebound. Fill in the stat sheet. She's tired too. You can look at her, tell that she is giving it her all out there.
Under 4 minutes to play. Seals. Blanks. Here's Tostin. Loggins inside. Left is short, but was fouled. And they might get Freeman on this. It will be her 3rd personal. and Sam Loggins will go to the free throw line.
See the replay here. I mean, the fan behind us just said make him pay. That's exactly right. What a nice spin move there, knowing you have a size advantage. Getting the foul called, and right there is exactly how you play the post or how you make a move in the post when you have a size advantage.
Loggins now with 17. He's just Salas checking into the game for Coach Mark Track. One more coming up here for Loggins. And she is now 6 of 7 at the charity stripe. 51-46, New Mexico State. They have not lost in conference play. They have not lost in 2016. Their last loss was in December against Vanderbilt, and they force a turnover. Yes, Seals comes up with it. And now the tempo slows here for the Wolverines.
Yeah, you want to use clock, use it to your advantage. I mean, it gets Loggins here with a nice move inside.
Reposted up to Sam, and she turns it over.
Yeah.
She walked with it.
Gonna get her with the travel. I like the move because she is playing with aggression. You know, that time she turned the basketball over, but she is playing with some serious aggression inside.
Career high 21 points. Last time she did that was earlier this season at Weber State. She's now sitting at 18 points, and she knocks it out of bounds. 2.5 to play as Rebecca Mawhinney will check into the game. She had that sensational third quarter, scoring all 8 of her points in that frame. And Coach Mark Track will call a timeout. Critical juncture in this game with 2.5 to play, and his team trailing by 5 points. Let's talk things over. And they have a lot of, go-to players.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, taking care of the basketball and getting maybe the best shot possible.
Well, I think I wasn't expecting this much of a defensive struggle coming into the game. We talked about the previous game. It was a 73-68 finish. Now, the Wolverine defense has been the story for me in the last several possessions, probably going to be the story of the game because they have really held New Mexico State in check. And we talked about from the very beginning, it's going to be plays like this where, Salas goes in for the layup and Loggins gets the block. But 2.5 minutes, a 5-point lead for the Wolverines. Take care of that basketball. No cheap fouls because you know where the ball is going to be going. It's going to be going into players like Mariah Mack or tough shot here. Oh, what a shot there from Mariah Mack.
It looked she had no chance on that because you had Loggins as Mack deflects it out of bounds. Loggins, I think, with 5 block shots, something like that. And yet she somehow got that one to go. And she did the same thing at the end of the third quarter with the shot clock winding down. It was down to 1. And New Mexico State, they needed a bucket in the worst way. She made that layup, and now she forces this turnover. Again, the reigning defensive player of the year last year. Here's Freeman. Salas. Davis. Under 2 minutes to play. 51-48. Top 2 scoring teams in the conference, and right now well below their averages. Mack with 5. Got it back somehow and scored. Wow, what an effort by Mariah Mack.
Said a few minutes ago, she is the threat to dribble, drive, and penetration. Another turnover here for UVU, but Mariah Mack is the player that New Mexico State will look to go to here again because she is on fire currently.
That was Weber who forced that last turnover, and now Salas almost turns it over, but got it back. Still a lot of time on the shot clock. See the turnovers. 18 committed by Utah Valley. Oh, Mack again from the corner. What an effort by Mariah Mack. And now New Mexico State leading by 2.
Oh, another steal.
In front. And so quickly this game can turn. Ellis provided some good moments for Coach Track at the end of the third quarter, and then Mack kind of picked it up and incredibly, New Mexico State now leading by 2 after they trailed by 9 points. Seems like just a few moments ago. Davis trying to get it inside. A whistle and a foul. They might get Loggins here, as I think they went inside to Freeman.
They're going to get Loggins called with the push. I was blocked out here. Let's see if we see. And it's so unfortunate because Loggins had her arms extended. I don't think she made much contact, or there was a whole lot of. But if you put your hands out and give the official the chance to call it, they generally will. Now, what a turn of events for New Mexico State. Getting the turnovers that they need. Wolverines now in a desperation situation because they've got to get a timeout here from Coach Nixon. But you know what it was, too? It was what we talked about right after the start of the second part of the game here. The Wolverines needed to take care of the basketball, and they haven't. They haven't taken care of the ball. They've had turnovers. They haven't had a possession, it seems like, in forever because New Mexico State ratcheted up their defense and their aggressiveness, causing more turnovers. The Wolverines didn't really have the offense that they needed, or the press offense is what I'll call it, to handle.
Sure.
Because they got the ball in poor situations and they were immediately trapped, and they tried to make long passes and just turned the basketball over. But what a turn of events here for the Aggies of New Mexico State.
And Mariah Mack. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, she has been the story because getting baskets in the paint, hitting tough jumpers, that long three in the corner. Perfect, what you needed right there for the Wolverines, a quick basket. They've got a foul.
I think this will be Blanks with the foul, and not in the bonus yet. So again, Mexico State will inbound it. We should mention Sam Loggins playing with 4 personal fouls, and also Salas, the freshman from New Mexico State, she also has 4 fouls. Freeman has 3. The last 24.4 here is Weber will inbound it for the Aggies.
And New Mexico State right now has players in the game that can shoot the ball and are good free throw shooters. So you just try and go, what are you going to get? Oh, going to get a timeout here for New Mexico State. But, how the Wolverines can play this is, do their best to get a turnover, try and get a steal, maybe swipe at the ball initially, see if you can get a turnover. If not, then immediately foul. But New Mexico State is going to have their best free throw shooters in the game.
Mexico State, they average 70 points right now at 55, so Utah Valley's defense really has done a nice job against the Aggies. Also, Utah Valley, I should say New Mexico State, they are in the midst of playing 5 of 6 on the road. They won by 20 at GCU on Thursday, and they just are a very impressive team. The record 19-3. They're ranked in the mid-major poll. I think they're 17th or 16th, depending on what information you read. But they are a tremendous team, and they have been pushed to the limit by Utah Valley. Now the Wolverines, as you mentioned, they have to have some kind of a turnover here or some missed free throws.
Yeah, and they got a foul. The clock is not on their side right now. 24 seconds left, but they've got to commit a couple fouls to get New Mexico State on the line, because now you just try and do your best to extend the game, give yourself more opportunities, and hopefully get a missed free throw by putting them at the line.
So I think the official says Coach Nixon has to get back more on the boundary. And there is Coach Nixon. And
coaches hate being told that, I know.
Kick ball, we'll do it again. .2 came off the clock, I believe.
Yep.
So Mack to trigger it in. New Mexico State. Williams. She does put the shot up and was fouled.
I'm surprised that she tried to shoot the ball there, because obviously you want to try and use clock, but she thought she had an opportunity. A good thing that she did, because now she gets 2 free throws.
But imagine if she would have missed the shot.
Yeah.
Utah Valley would have had the ball, trailing by 2. But William makes good on the first free throw.
She's a 75% free throw shooter as well, so not the ideal person you wanted to put at the line.
Leads the team with attempts. She's been to the line 72 times. One more coming up for Tamara.
Make or miss here for the Wolverines. You don't panic. You still got plenty of time left in the game. You push the ball, try and get the best shot that you possibly can, and usually after those quick-made shots, that's when you try and get a turnover in your favor.
Clutch free throw shooting, making both free throws, and now it's a 2-possession game. Here comes Seals.
And New Mexico State is still pressuring.
Seals almost lost the dribble. Trapped. Boy, valuable time coming off the clock, and New Mexico State with 10 seconds, and they're fouled with 9.7. So they had an opportunity there, trailing by 4. Now let's see if free throws will be made here by New Mexico State. But Seals, that pressure, I mean, that was your number one key. Is
they're up 4 and there's 10 seconds left, and they're still giving full court pressure. They're still sticking to what they do best.
But that was your key, handling the pressure. And Utah Valley, they did really well in that first half. Only 6 turnovers, but it's kind of ballooned here in the second half as Weber makes good from the free throw line. Boy, Sasha just a tremendous player too for Coach Track.
The game is a game of momentum and runs at times, and the Wolverines did the momentum was all on their side, all in their favor. They stretched it out to 9 points, a 9-point lead at one point. And then what happens? I think New Mexico State realized, hey, this is the time we do it. They get a couple steals, they get a couple baskets, the momentum completely shifts to their favor. I think the Wolverines got into some situations where they maybe panicked a little bit. They weren't completely confident in what they were doing, and it all had to do with that full court pressure that New Mexico State was putting on, because it's hard to play against that, and the Wolverines certainly did struggle.
9.7 left here in the ball game. See if Utah Valley can have a miracle finish. They did come from behind against San Francisco, scoring 37 points in the fourth quarter and beating, I believe, the Dons in overtime. But, this is a little bit different story here up against the clock, which is 9.7 left, and facing a, tremendous New Mexico State team.
Well, and to point out kind of the pressure and the fact that the Wolverines struggled to get the ball up the court, the Wolverines have scored 6 points in the last 8.5 minutes. So they just get another turnover here.
That was Sasha Weber.
Yeah, 6 points in the last 8.5 minutes. Just unfortunately didn't get it done for UVU, and all credit be given to New Mexico State, because they won that basketball game, and they can be proud of their effort.
What a ball game here on the WAC Digital Network. The number one team pushed to the brink, pushed till about 1 minute left, and then they were able to take advantage. And, Mariah Mack and, her offense and her pressure helped to get the win for New Mexico State. They improved to 20-3 now, and will face Chicago State next Saturday, and 9-0 in conference play. And for Utah Valley, they drop now to 4-5 in the conference standings, 11-13 overall. So, what were your thoughts? I know we kind of talked about it throughout, but what were your thoughts of this game?
Yeah, tough to swallow for the Wolverines, because it was right there. They had the number one team in conference. They were right there, well within their grasp. But I think it came down to what we talked about at the beginning of the game for UVU. They had to be able to handle the pressure that New Mexico State was going to put on, and that's what we talked about at the start of the third period, is they had to take care of the basketball. And what do you know, the Wolverines ended up with 21 turnovers. They had 21 turnovers in the game, and that unfortunately was their Achilles heel, because they shot the ball okay. They got 34 points in the paint, but New Mexico State 28 points off turnovers. 28 points off turnovers. And it's hard to win a game when you give up that many points, when you turn the basketball over. And the players that we talked about came to play for New Mexico State. 15 from Mariah Mack, 15 from Sasha Weber, 12 from Brianna Freeman. Just fantastic play from them. The Wolverines had Sam Loggins with a terrific game, but I really think in the end that's what it came down to, and we knew it was going to come down to that. And that's why New Mexico State is what they are, because of the effort and the pressure they put.
See this bucket by Mack, and that was a big one. I think that was down near the end of the third quarter there, where they really needed some offense. But I want to highlight Sam Loggins' numbers again: 20 points, 6 rebounds. How about 6 block shots in 33 minutes? What an effort! And she played really well against the Vaqueros as well. Let's see, what did she have? She had 14 points and 5 rebounds. But Mariah Mack, to me, was the story. And you see the effort and the hustle, the energy, not giving up on plays. And I just thought that was the huge shot right there.
That was a big three in the corner, and a terrific game from Sam Loggins. Mariah Seals didn't play her best, unfortunately, for the Wolverines. 3 of 10 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. She was held in check, but we see the statistics here. Look at that. Look at the advantage that the Wolverine had shooting-wise, and they didn't have it from 3. They were much better from the free throw line, but it was just those turnovers and the fact that New Mexico State was able to convert those turnovers into big baskets. I thought Deja Blanks, too. Unfortunate for her. She had a terrific game. She only had 4 points, but 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. She was all over the place, and tough to swallow for UVU. You take the game, you learn from it, but New Mexico State is where they are because of what they showed us on the court. They were down, they didn't get out of it, and they fought their way back, and they came away with the win.
That's going to do it for us. They have now won 11 straight, a commanding lead. They could probably clinch the conference, I would imagine, next week. So we'd like to thank you for watching this WAC Digital Network presentation. Our final score, New Mexico State 59, Utah Valley 53. For our director, Dennis Listenbeat, and for our producer, Brendan Larkin, our entire production crew, and Matt Peterson, my name is Michael Clanton. So long from Orem, Utah.
This copyrighted telecast of the Western Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the WAC Digital Network.